Good morning and welcome, Coffee Moaners.
Good morning. Oh, welcome to Coffee Moaning. I still have my allergy, so I still look really weird, but I haven't been in a fight. That's what it looks like.
You poor thing.
Yes, it's annoying, but there's far worse things going on in the world, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I've got to look at you.
I know. No, my girl said to me yesterday, Mum, do you think you'll ever go back to how you used to look? We're starting to forget what you look like.
You do look sort of a little bit like Barry McGuigan.
Apparently these things can take ages.
Can they? Just got to be patient, got to ride it out.
You feel like all the pressure here on my forehead. It's like, it's so weird. Like here, feel how swollen it is there.
Oh God, yes.
Right from here to here.
Yes.
It just feels like my face is bursting.
It's almost like all the liquid in your body is concentrated in your mask area. Have you had a mask? Have you had an eye mask?
No, nothing. Well, I've had an eye mask, blackout mask.
Could there be something in that?
Well, I haven't used it since, just to see whether it was that.
Someone suggested it could have been the smoke, the oak cocktail that you were making with Dina.
Who can know?
Anyway, good morning, everyone. It could be stress-induced, says
Well, certainly has enough
Hardy.
stress.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I want to say happy 21st
thank you.
sober birthday to Mark. Everybody, please.
Thank
21 years of sobriety, 21 years, day in, day out, of not having anything to take the edge off anything.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely fine with it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for all of your messages under Nadia's post. I had a lovely message from Maddie, a lovely message from Kiki today. So lovely. Thank you. I feel so cherished and I feel so blessed. I am going to be doing a mental health download actually about how one genuinely feels on a day like today. I got a very sweet message from Lisa Moorish talking about the fact that she, under your post, saying she's got 6 months sobriety. And she was sober for many years before that, and then went back to drink and has 6 months now. And I said to her, however long anyone has been sober, cherish that day. I struggle with that in my own mental health usually, but I think keeping that rationale in my head, the first thing I say to people when they congratulate me, and because I remember going to AA meetings and thinking, I remember someone saying once, I'm 12 years sober. And I remember literally sitting there thinking, no fucking way am I going to be sober in 12 years, let alone 21.
I know.
So we'll talk about that a bit later.
So please take heart from that. And I'm going to read you our daughter's message to you because it was just lovely.
But every day you're sober for today. You're sober for today. And today is the win. Today is the win. And today can happen at any point in the day. Don't be drawn into that thought of,
if you're drinking right now, don't think, I want to stop.
Today.
I'm going to stop tomorrow. You could stop now. You could put it down.
And on that note, coffee was fantastic. So what we're talking about today, we're going to talk about, they want us to shut up about Gaza. Now, this is a couple of social media kind of carousel posts that I wanted to share with everyone. I've also got live updates from news from in the Middle East, from Al Jazeera, from Middle East Eye. And I just want to talk about the fact that I just thought it was important to talk about the fact that I can really feel creeping into the chat rooms, the comments underneath a lot of people who've been campaigning and activists for the freedom of Palestine, which hasn't changed. People are kind of saying, can we move on? Can we move on? It's getting a bit dull. It's getting a bit boring. You're going on about it a bit now. So I just want to talk about the fact that, not only have things not changed, they're still getting worse, just in a different way. We're going to talk about the incoming hurricane in Jamaica. Obviously, it's incoming. Green Party surge as well. We want to talk about good news, don't we, Nads? Because we love Zach Polanski. And this is the news in the Times that really the Green Party really is genuinely surging in popularity.
And they hate it.
Everyone hates it.
Everyone hates it.
Because they talk truths. Yeah. Or do they talk truths? Maybe people hate them. I don't know. But anyway, so where should we start? I thought we could start with something a little bit lighthearted to begin with, though.
Yeah, go on.
Kourtney Kardashian has launched a lollipop for your vagina.
Oh, God.
What the fuck is this? I just wanted to ask.
Why didn't you show that to me?
Because I wanted to show you it now.
What does it say?
Kourtney Kardashian has launched a new addition to her Lemmy line, and it makes for quite an unexpected combo. The newest iteration of her Lemmy Purr supplements, the probiotic gummies and pills designed to support vaginal health. She's dropped a lollipop for your vagina.
We did something on this last year. Weren't there some sweeties last year? And we did the whole thing thinking that you had put them up your vagina. And
Oh, do you not put the lollipop in your vagina?
I don't think so. If you told me the bloody story, I would
It's
have
not a
looked
big
it up.
story. It was a bit
It's
of
a big
fun.
story to me.
Why, do you want a lollipop?
Maybe it's not a big story to you because you haven't got a vagina.
Yeah, but I like lollipops.
Right. Well, carry on and I'm going to find out about it.
Okay. Well,
Has anyone else seen it?
She's launched. Well, I haven't got any more to say. I just thought it was a shocking headline. There you go.
Has anybody seen it? But they'll
Put
probably
what
know.
where now, says MeTube. Yeah, no, absolutely. For fuck's sake, says Janina M. Coral Roberts says, Nadia, can you please see a doctor? Swollen eyes indicate other health issues.
I know. I tried, but he hasn't rung me back. Had one booked between 9 and 10.
It's raising awareness and making women's health less taboo to talk about. I'm all for it, Sarah D.
Okay. So yes, right. So
this
is a lollipop.
Yes.
That to promote vaginal health, formulated with pineapple, vitamin C, and probiotics. Oh, on that, guys, I'm doing a great chat on here tomorrow evening with the fabulous pharmacist.
Oh, fantastic.
And all about the vulva.
Zoe says you definitely stick it up there.
You sure?
Yeah. The Sunday show is also tomorrow night as well, around that live. So stay tuned and we'll let you know.
Taking something.
I get picked.
No, you don't put it up your no.
You must do. I mean,
no,
it's the most obvious thing to do with a lollipop. Well, it's not the most obvious thing, obviously, but
of course, it's not the obvious thing.
Well, it is if you're promoting it for vaginal health.
Our community fell in love with our first lollipops. Yes, we talked about these last year.
No, they were gummy bears.
Oh,
they were gummy bears. I remember because Dina was outraged about the idea of shoving them up your nun.
I love that they turned daily self-care into something sweet and simple. We're so excited.
Nikki Ball says, then why is it in her mouth?
It doesn't go up your nooner. This was where we made a fool of ourselves last year because we were saying it and you suck it. You don't suck it. You don't stick it, you suck it. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Help my eyeballs.
It might do. In other news, I just want to, well, no, not in other news. Oh, also the other thing we're going to talk about, which I really do want to talk about, it's not in the title because there was so much to cram in, is we've got the footage of King Charles being heckled. And I want to ask you how it makes you feel, but we'll hold on to that for a little bit later because I had an odd response to it, and then I've changed my response to it. So we will show you that in a bit. Should we get the serious stuff out of the way?
She's Zoe. She's Irish from Dublin. She's a great woman.
I don't mean out of the way, as in out of the way, but we need to talk about it. So I just want to share this post, this carousel post here, and I'm just going to read from it. The genocide isn't over in the West Bank. It's just starting. This is posted by an account that is young activists for Palestine. And the genocide isn't over in the West Bank, it's just starting. And this is really important to keep all eyes on the West Bank. During the past 2 years, these are some stark statistics. In the West Bank alone, 16,800 arrests.
Plus, there'll be more than that we don't know about. Yeah. Now, don't forget, this is people being rounded up in their dozens often, hands behind their back, often stripped down to their pants. That's children, men, women, children, doesn't matter, and marched off to a torture camp. So when we say arrest, it sounds like, there's a bit of a rough and scuffle and then somebody gets arrested now.
And remember, the West Bank this is happening in the West Bank, which it's weird. When people talk about what's going on and what's happening to the Palestinians, everyone sort of doesn't even really mention the West Bank in everyday conversation. Obviously, activists do, people who are across the Palestinian crisis do. And there's thank you very much. There is no Hamas, as Claire Wilson says, in the West Bank.
What is this?
So what excuse are they using?
Well, this is it, Claire.
This is why the West ignores it. This is why the West ignores it.
There is no excuse being given.
Beyond what?
Isn't that? No, there's no reason being given.
No, there isn't. So
they're just rounded. They're taking people hostage by their thousands, 16,800.
So listen, for those of you listening on podcast, in the past 2 years in the West Bank, 16,800 plus arrests, 13,000 plus raids. That includes raiding your homes, raiding your farms, raiding your businesses, basically rendering your home, business and stock or whatever sort of obsolete and unable to kind of use or live in or to trade with. 2,600 plus demolitions. There was footage yesterday of Palestinian children in a very makeshift school in the West Bank. They started to bulldoze it whilst the kids were running out of the other side of it.
Well, did you see the leaked conversation in the Knesset where they were discussing, well, if a child is on a donkey, what do you shoot first, the donkey or the child with Ben Gvir? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
39,000 plus displaced. Look at this, 232 new checkpoints.
And it's already hell.
114 new settlements in 2 years. So when Trump goes, don't worry about the West Bank, they're doing nothing in the West Bank, we won't let them do anything.
They're doing it.
They're doing it. So,
doing it big style.
But if you don't recognize it, you just pretend it's not happening. We are literally being gaslit right now. Everyone is trying to gaslight us.
It's going a bit pear-shaped, though, in America. It is going a bit pear-shaped.
Well, let me carry on reading this.
Because MAGA is not liking the fact that the Christians are being treated in the same way.
The IOF has been raiding villages in the West Bank, conducting mass arrests, most of which are done during the night. Palestinians are blindfolded, handcuffed, transported to facilities inside Israel, which is illegal under international law. There is no due process. They're tried in military court with a 95% conviction rate. 40% of those arrested are held indefinitely under administrative detention without any formal charges or trial. And I'm going to give you my theory on this. There is no Hamas to blame in the West Bank, and that makes Israel angry. So they make life unbearable. They are trying to squeeze evidence out of an oppressed people to say that there's extremism anywhere. I mean, it's quite astonishing, isn't it, what they're trying to do? It's such sort of simple psychology.
Hi, Reese. Nice to see you.
What's happening in Israeli prisons? Overcrowding, inadequate access to health and sanitation, prolonged solitary confinement, physical, psychological, and sexual abuse, forced confessions and signatures on Hebrew documents.
And don't forget starvation. And restriction on water. And we got a tiny bit of that from the Sumud hostages that were taken from international waters. They said we just got a flick of it and it was unbearable. And it was a couple of days. So we mustn't forget these hostages.
Mustn't forget. Almost 40,000 Palestinians have been forced out of their homes as the Zionist entity steals more land for illegal settlements. As we said, 114 new settlements since 2023. And in 2025 alone, the Israeli Higher Planning Council has approved nearly 19,000 new settlement units. This is on land owned by Palestinians. Their homes are taken from them, aided and abetted the illegal settlers by the IOF, who stand there with guns as they take their homes. Yeah, and we mustn't be silent on this. The Code Pink states the world confronts the genocide Washington is trying to bury.
Follow Code Pink, they're great.
Under Trump's plan, a supposed ceasefire took place on October the 10th, but Israel only withdrew from less than half of the Gaza Strip. Israel occupies 58% of the Gaza Strip. Killed at least 93 people in the following 2 weeks. It's now up to 100 at least. Has only allowed 15% of the humanitarian aid called for in the plan to enter Gaza.
They're still starving to death. Has
kept the critical Rafah crossing from Egypt into Gaza closed.
This is an absolute con.
It's a total con.
Absolute con. So all those ridiculous radio presenters and journalists were saying, oh, why don't all these, hippie flip-flop wearing do-gooders, why are they not excited about the ceasefire? Oh, now we're seeing what it's really all about, because we're not fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, and they want you to be quiet so that they can get away with the genocide. That's when people say, why aren't you happy about the ceasefire? Look at them and go, you're trying to excuse a genocide, you are. That's what you're doing. You're trying to excuse a genocide.
We are going to stay as strong and firm about the apartheid state in Israel as people were with South Africa.
Pac-Man 68, I don't want to miss it, but you're 39 years sober. Big up.
Oh, that makes me cry.
Congratulations, Pac-Man 68. I could see the congratulations coming through.
Thank you for always your such thoughtful and well and articulate messages throughout this. And I'm always quite taken aback when I see I can't really work out what you are, and I see you and you talk with such balance and compassion about Palestinians. I didn't realise you were sober.
39. That's staggering. Well done, mate.
God.
Keep it in the day. You know about keeping it in the day.
That's amazing. Because we know you from. Did you know you were sober?
No, I didn't. No. That is just astonishing. And look, this is what a community. Everyone is saying, well done, congratulations. Feel the love. Feel the love.
And thank you for all your support with Palestine, and your words are always so well thought out. I see them. Oh, God, there we go. It's repeating us because it's listening all the time.
So weird.
Oh, he said, "Don't make me cry." It's good to cry.
It's good to cry. Cry. Have a cry. Have a cry.
What is it? The worst part of being sober is you get your feelings back. The best part of being sober is you get your feelings back. I love that line. Yeah. I love that line.
Yeah, you feel the feelings.
Did you do that by yourself, or was it AA? Was it AA? Let us know, because we're going to talk more about sobriety at the end. I'd like to know that.
Wow, that's great. And yeah, so you're absolutely right, Naz. We can't let this be forgotten. This morning, Ben-Gvir is already rattling his cot and screaming at Netanyahu, saying, because the remains of another deceased hostage have been handed over, they're being queried and questioned because they don't believe that they are the right remains. And on the back of that, Ben-Gvir is demanding that Netanyahu restart the war. And apparently they're calling a meeting and everything. So this could be the cloud cover out of which
and as yet the children still haven't been released.
Yeah.
That we were promised they were all going to be released on the ceasefire.
And yet
they're holding them back until they can work out exactly what bodies are. I mean, this is just.
Well, hang on a minute. Why don't we ask Ben-Gvir what's happened to the corneas and organs of many of the Palestinian bodies
that have come back,
that have been handed back and have evidence of torture?
Terrible.
And also the other a detail yesterday that caused a lot of upset, and I understand why. Egypt managed to go through the Rafah crossing yesterday with bulldozers to help Israel look for the remains of the hostages. So there's
bulldozers
to help uncover the rubble, to find, so they can go in when it's for Israel, but they can't do anything when it's for Palestine. I mean, I have to confess, I find Egypt just another spineless wonder in this whole thing. No, I don't think Ben-Gvir will get his way.
I feel so sorry for the Egyptian soldiers on the border that have every day children begging them, and it just must be awful.
So breaking news is 11 minutes ago. Netanyahu is saying he will consult with the defense establishment over Israel's response to Hamas's ceasefire deal violations. Here's the passive-aggressive narcissist in the room. They've broken the ceasefire deal and terms over 150 times in the last 10 days. But now,
we know of,
because of the devastation that they have committed to Gaza, which makes it impossible to find the remains of one of their hostages.
Needle in a haystack. How could the negotiators have agreed to such a thing? This was ridiculous.
We did say
of course, they're not going to be able to give the exact bodies back. The place is absolutely razed to the ground. Of
course it is, yeah.
I mean,
but talk about passive.
I'm just astonished that this was the agreed deal.
Well, but Hamas are saying that part of the agreed deal was that there would be collaboration and cooperation to find the bodies. But I think
how are they going to find the bodies?
I mean, it's just staggering, and it's just
the most perfect excuse. It's their new Hamas.
It sticks
instead of saying Hamas, they can say the bodies. Whatever they do now, they can say, well, we haven't got the body. We're going to start bombing again because we haven't got the bodies. Is that going to help you find the bodies?
So because of the remains, there are still
insanity.
There are still 13 bodies of captives in Gaza. The slowness of their recovery it's suspected going to be used as a reason for them probably to drop another 150,000 tons of mortar on a strip where then they'll be able to find them even less quickly. This is the lunacy of their logic.
Well, because we know they don't give a shit. The government doesn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit about the hostages. They don't give a shit about the bodies. It's about continuing on the land grab. I feel so sorry for the families who all the way through have been sold an absolute pup. They were starving the Palestinians, they were starving your hostages, they were starving your family, they were bombing the Palestinians, they were bombing the hostages that they supposedly cared so much about, this government.
Pink Lady says the bodies are under the rubble that they caused. So obvious. So what are you going to do? Cause more rubble so you can't get the third? And I mean, as shocking and as horrific as it was that any hostages were taken at all, we're now prioritizing the remains of 13 people over the entire strip and hundreds of thousands of Palestinians yet again. the discordance in kind of, and the discrepancy in the value to life given is just so shocking. Sorry, which one?
Just that, just
Kerry?
on there, because I didn't want Kerry to feel that.
I thought I was doing well by being 11 and a half years sober. You are.
Patman and Mark,
you're amazing.
Don't say that. Look how excited Mark is. That is 39 years. You're just looking for. Yep. It's amazing you've been 11.
And I'm sure Patman would agree. Whilst you, in a weird way, the cumulative effect of time is something quite different. I'm going to talk about that in my mental health download later. It is always today.
Yeah,
it can only
just in
be
case
today.
You had to leave. Sorry, I interrupted Mark, but it's just I didn't. Maybe you were going to go, and I didn't want to miss that because you.
So don't. You are doing well. Don't think you're doing well.
You are fucking amazing. Well done, Kerry.
And anyone who's got an hour sobriety is doing fucking amazing. It's not. There's no. Though I will talk about this later, that you can get into, because the self-hate of an addict's mind is, I'm not a good enough alcoholic. I'm not a good sober enough alcoholic. The first thing I said to Nadia, I feel like I haven't really worked the steps properly. And
let's leave that for the chat later.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think we've made it clear. All eyes on the West Bank, slow motion genocide, though not that slow motion for those who are out there. 3 people have been killed in the city of Jenin this morning.
Unbearable suffering.
The Gaza Strip, drones are flying all the time. The sounds of artillery around Gaza City are constant. The fear and the feeling on the ground for Palestinians in Gaza is no different. Just the number of deaths happening today from bombs has gone down potentially. That's it.
And don't forget all the people that are dying every day through lack of medical care. Now, if you've got the stomach for it, the Beast of the Middle East, fantastic. He's such an incredible man,
amazing
isn't he?
Yeah.
We still have got to have a chat with him on here. He's incredible. He's a doctor, and he has posted something today. He's given a great long warning on it because it is very triggering. But if you do want to actually see the reality of what these bombs and this artillery is doing to these people, look at that. I can't post it because it's just too much. But if you've got the strength for it, look at it. Have you seen it?
No. Okay, we're gonna pivot over to Jamaica now. And I mean, of course, it's always we've talked about hurricanes in the past. This is Hurricane Melissa, a rapidly growing Category 5.
Is that the top
hurricane?
Category 5?
Yes, it is. Though we are beginning to get something called super hurricanes, which they are considering changing the categorization and lifting it one to there being a Category 6. I won't bore you to death with it. I've flown through a Category 5 hurricane. It was Hurricane Floyd back in 2000. About 80 people died on land. And the footage I'm going to show you now is footage from the Hurricane Hunters, the same squadron that I flew with. And go to Danny fucking Price. He's also got a beautifully sort of spare and direct description of what goes on within a hurricane. Now, of course, you can revel in the majesty and marvel at the kind of power of a hurricane, but on the ground, this is potentially disastrous for Jamaica, and we know that Jamaica I
know so little about Jamaica, actually.
and so many of our so much of our migrant population came from Jamaica.
Yeah,
so we have
I just know so little about it, like economically and all of that. There will be
I've never been
enormous suffering here, right?
Oh, I mean, not only again, there's always the hope, and it's always a kind of inaccurate science, that it might dissipate quickly, it might go out to sea, it might not quite hit. The eye of the storm might not literally run through the center of Jamaica, but it's looking pretty puff, puff, pass, says musical chimp. What does that mean? Does that mean it's going to pass? Hurricane Melissa could impact 1.5 million people in Jamaica, the Red Cross say. Hurricane Melissa is expected to make landfall in eastern Cuba later today. Tropical storm conditions are forecast in Haiti already. The Bahamas are set to experience hurricane conditions on Wednesday. The Jamaican Ministry of Health and Wellness said, we urge the public to exercise extreme caution. Just whilst I'm reading this.
Yeah, because I think 3 people have just trying to get ready for it, haven't they? So
this is footage of the hurricane hunters flying through it.
But you just put that in earlier, and lots of people well know it. But Mark has actually
I've done this.
I've
been on this.
Well,
I've been on a flight like this, going through the storm. We were in the air for 14 hours, and what they're actually doing is
14 hours?
Yeah, 14 hours in a great big, whatever those big ones from Vietnam. Yeah, 14 hours. It was unbearable. And then, and you're constantly being strapped in, strapped out. And what you're seeing here is you go into the eye. So what you do is you intercept the eye of the storm repeatedly. So you crisscross. Imagine you've got a donut, and imagine the hole in the middle of the donut. And what you do is the navigator takes you through. You intercept the donut about 20 times. There's the donut. So you're going through that repeatedly.
I didn't realise you were in it for 14 hours.
And you intercept it 14 times. And each time you intercept it, in the back of the plane, there's a guy with these missiles. They look like kind of bombs, mortar bombs. And he's firing drop-ons through a hole in the top of the plane. And as they go down, they calculate the data of the strength and the power and the speed of the winds. That comes back up to the plane, that's sent off to the hurricane center, that's flagged out to the land team, and the ground team go, right, it's increased. And so the reason they keep intercepting is you're charting its progress and its growth. And we
were you scared?
Petrified, because they kept strapping us in. And when you go through the eye wall, so imagine you've got a ring donut. So you look at a ring donut, the inside ring, the hole, that inside ring, not the outside ring, the inside ring is called the eye wall. And that's where all the lightning's happening. And there's a point where you're like this, you're strapped in, you've got a great big camera, like that. And then as you go through, suddenly it's calm. It's sunny, it's calm. And you can look out, and as you look out, you can see just a curve of clouds
of that, like we saw there.
Yeah, just as you see.
So, but was it also beautiful?
It was absolutely stunning. It was absolutely stunning.
When you were doing it, were you thinking, I wish I hadn't done this, or were you aware that?
No, as we flew back into Biloxi, Mississippi, and as we flew in, and there was a beautiful sort of sunset, literally over the Mississippi. The White House was on the phone to the team and the pilots in the cabin. We had a microphone. We're fixing all these microphones into kind of the navigator the navigator at the back of the cockpit was sat like this with his feet up with a big map, just measuring things. Go to the.
Did you cry?
No. I think I was probably hungover. And the awful thing was we arrived but get this, we were joining the hurricane hunters. We were 10 minutes late getting to the airbase.
Oh, you silly sod. It could have.
We stayed in a Super 8 motel.
And you got pissed.
I don't know if we got pissed, but it was
So did you get good shots?
Yeah, and of course the shots we got were all from through the window. You weren't getting shots of the storm, but you could get shots of the eye wall. You get shots of the lightning. Lots. They let us in. We were in the cockpit. We were in the cockpit with them. At one point, we were flying through, and as you flew through the eye wall, you felt the whole plane would go up as you kind of. Crazy.
My God.
But yeah, anyway, so
and that was for National Geographic.
That was for National Geographic.
Is there a film of this
Hurricane
somewhere?
Yeah, there is. It's in my loft. I'll pull it out.
I'll
pull it out. Yeah. No, absolutely.
You really should get it.
Do you remember when we met Jake, the father of his friend? He edited it. He was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing." But of course, in Hurricane Floyd, about 100 people died on the ground, and like they said from the White House in the cockpit, you've probably said we won't be able to quantify how many lives you've saved from the emergency.
Did you hear them say that?
Yes. We recorded it. We played the words over we had the subtitles because it was like,
you have saved many lives.
The President of the United States would like to thank you, the Hurricane Hunters, for saving,
It's like a movie. We've got to find that film.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We'll dig it out. It's from 2000, was it, Hurricane Floyd? Absolutely. But anyway, obviously on the ground, this is I think the Prime Minister, of Jamaica said, not a single part of Jamaica's infrastructure, buildings, is built to withstand a Category 5 hurricane.
Oh, my God.
And so consequently, the potential
here is massive. So what's the likelihood
of
it hitting?
Well, at the moment, what do you say?
It's going to be a bloody horror story.
Slowest moving hurricane, moving at 2 kilometers an hour. So this will devastate the Caribbean. Okay, so a slow moving one means it hangs around for ages. And it builds and it builds and it builds. And on the same day that the UN has announced we've missed our 1.5 carbon dioxide.
And can I just drop in again that when it comes to wars, there are no restrictions on what they're doing to the planet, the ecocide. That's what it's called, genocide, ecocide. The amount of bombs that have been being dropped over the last 2 years are speeding the whole thing up. Actually, Zach Green Party should do something on that.
Yeah, you really should. I mean,
we're not hearing enough about that.
Not only have we missed our targets, these, and the fact that we are now having to consider recategorizing hurricanes. and including Hurricane 6 is just, so all of our hearts go out. There'll be thousands of people here in the UK with relatives in Jamaica, absolutely petrified.
Yeah.
Reese, the infrastructure is not great, and you combine that with the standard of living in Jamaica, which is difficult and strenuous. Thoughts really do go out to my fellow Jamaicans.
It's just a horror story.
I bet.
Let's just pray. Let's just pray. It just swerves. What was the?
Tanya says it won't miss. It's massive. Yeah.
It won't.
Fuck. It's not looking good. It could impact 1.5 million, as I just said a minute ago. Let's just see if there's an update on that at the moment. It is. I mean, and again, the Hurricane Hunter guys are quite something as well, because as I say, we were in the air for 14 hours, and we charted it all the way from Florida, because we took off from Biloxi, followed it up the Florida coast, and we let go of it once it was diminishing down to a category 4.
Wow. So that will be going on now. There will be people in that. There will that
flight. They'll be going. I think they go up 2 or 3 times. Yeah, so they'll go up. God. They'll keep going back up again and again and again.
Wow, there's not many people that will be able to tell that story today, Mark.
No, it's great. Could call that a case of the geographicals.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Nat Geo though. So.
Bloody hell. Well, our thoughts are with the people of Jamaica, and like you say, Mark, very importantly, all the people that are here.
Yeah.
Just waiting with bated breath as to what's happening. This is tough, really tough.
Persephone personified. So we are getting a hurricane when the comet is coming. Don't go. Let's not do the interstellar object.
He needs to do.
I am going to be doing a chat about the interstellar object. It is due to appear from behind the sun.
You keep saying you're going to do
today or tomorrow. No, I know. I don't know why I keep waiting. I don't know.
It's so annoying.
It's weird.
So many people that want to talk about it.
Okay. Does anyone want me to do a live chat?
You ask this every time, and they say yes.
All right, I'll do it. I promise I'll do it. Definitely thinking of everyone, says Lisa. Thinking of Jamaica, says Michelle Nye. Absolutely. Even if it swerves a bit, it's so huge, says Tanya. It's causing a lot of destruction already. Yesterday was bad with lots of damage.
And somebody there was saying that the rain is very heavy. Oh, can you imagine?
It's just awful.
And it's
just awful. It's just awful. Okay, well, we mentioned the Green Party, which it makes sense because we're talking about climate change and what have you. And I just want to pop this headline up because I love it. Labour at record poll low with Greens just 1 point behind. How do you feel about that? Change. Labour polls at record low. So Reform in recent poll, this is the Times reporting this. Reform are at 27%. Labour at 17, Conservatives at 17, Greens at 16, which is 1% behind Labour.
Where were they before?
And Lib Dems at 15. I mean, I think if you were to take, say, our election, we were about 8. I think they've doubled. I think they're going up massively. So Reform. So that's where we stand there. I mean, it looks inevitable if that was translated into an election that Reform and the Conservatives will lead.
And they've got 150,000 members now as well.
The Green Party,
which is massive.
Yeah, I think the Green Party have got more members than the Conservative Party now. And we want to keep. Is it telegraphing? Is that the right word? We want to telegraph this news, because we need people to feel like we can change. Actually, the political firmaments. If the Green Party, and I'm actually going to say this, if Green and Reform become the 2 leading parties of this country, regardless of what one thinks of each of the other from each side, then the political system in this country has been turned on its head for the first time.
Wow.
For the first time.
Wow. 150,000 members.
It will be, if we can get the Green Party to any kind of equivalence to Reform, it doesn't mean we won't necessarily still have a 2-party system. That 2-party system will pivot slightly more to the left in the Green Party, because let's face it, you look at the Green Party's progressive policies on everything, and it's just more left-wing, isn't it, than Labour? And if you look to Reform, it's more right-wing than the Conservatives. The only mainstream party that still has a kind of toehold potentially out of this outcome is Conservatives, because they would hold the keys of power for Reform. But I think what you'd see there is a merging of the next 2. And as Mitri brightly says, it's maintaining this momentum for the next 4 years. Because don't forget, we're only a year into a Labour government, which is kind of
much can
change.
I mean, the thing is, the way that young people are so motivated, aren't they?
Oh, and I've got a statistic for
this is something you might want to play out, Mark, actually. You might want to I've just seen it. It's like, this is on
Let me
Zach's
just,
page.
okay, you sending it to me?
Yeah, the pundits are going crazy.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
you
look,
might
check
wanna
this
say
out.
that.
So this is another statistic. Those jumping ship, current voting intention for people who voted Labour. Half of the people who voted Labour will still vote Labour, 50%. 18% of them will vote Green. 13% of them will vote Lib Dems. So the people leaving Labour, predominantly they're going to Green, but a healthy proportion are also going to the Lib Dems. So could there be an argument that there's a Green Lib Dems tie-up somewhere down the way?
He was in the Lib Dems before Zach.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
All right. This is a really, 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 bless you, you're right with your eyes.
Yeah, something.
This is a really important statistic, this, for the future of the country. Current voting intention for people aged 18 to 24. Green, 40%. This statistic will make the Daily Mail shit itself, and the Telegraph. Because look, if you add Green and Labour there, for 18 to 24-year-olds, 61%, well, actually add the Lib Dems, you're looking at 75% of
I've
the
lost
young...
it now.
Well, okay, let me
I can't do...
Okay, 40 plus 21 is 61 plus that 7. Okay, pretty much 75, 3/4 of all young people 18 to 24 won't vote for Reform or Conservatives.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now we're down to 16-year-olds. They can vote as well, can't they?
Yes.
I suppose
this
16,
is exciting.
If you're 16, you're going to be so heavily influenced by who your parents are voting for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
So
and I think in a weird way, what's coming through this is this notion that I thought that there were a lot more younger voters stepping towards reform. I don't think that's translating.
What will make me so happy, what's made me so happy is
this is exciting.
Our daughters have a place. They felt homeless politically. We felt homeless politically. And to hear them talking with hope is really quite something.
It's so encouraging. And we talk a lot about gloom and doom, and we've talked about the hopelessness around politics. And Zach Polanski has transformed the landscape, as has, whether we like it or not, Nigel Farage, for good or for bad. They've both changed the landscape. And I did say the other day, I don't necessarily think Green would be gaining the potential purchase it's getting now unless people saw change was happening with reform. Some people, I think people against reform have thought, well, if they can do it, we can do it. And I think that's really important. So in a weird way, reform have, I think, supercharged the idea that one can fight against.
So I think we have to keep on here as well, talking about what we're witnessing in America, because it is so important, because that's where reform wants to take us. And that might bring even more people. By the way, we're completely biased. Yes. Because we can be.
And also Milk Honey asks quite a good question, which I'm sure a lot of people anti-Greens would ask, which is, Milk Honey asks, what would a Green government look like? You know what? I can tell you this, Milk Honey. Haven't got a Scooby-Doo, but I tell you what I do know it won't look like is a reform government. And that's okay with me.
Listen to the trawl, listen to the news agents, and listen to Middle East Eye. Those are the three podcasts that I listen to. There's another one, I can't remember what it is, where you find out a lot about what they're planning. They're very, very focused on poverty. Poverty is a huge problem. Poverty feeds into everything, including the planet. You know, they're very into the appalling distribution of wealth. He is very able to be totally honest and direct and say things that everyone else skirts around. And so I think it's a good question, because people have always just dismissed the Greens because they just think it's just about the planet. And he talks very little about it, actually, and gets into trouble for that from some. But he says, you know that we care about the planet. But if I think we should play that. So this is something that just popped up on Instagram.
I just need to rip it. So maybe
just
hold
rip
the
it
fort for a second.
on Zach's Instagram, saying the pundits are losing their shit, basically, because of how well he's doing. There was somebody just that went up there saying it's not only the young. I'm 68. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's right across. Love the trawl. They are so funny. So the trawl are two women, probably in their 30s, are they?
Yeah, Marina Perkis and Gemma Forte.
Very smart, very dry, and there's sort of a young version of.
You need to go on their show.
Yeah, they've asked me to, and I said sure, anytime. I really like them. They're sort of a younger and British version of those two American women who I absolutely love. who say, I think they're called I Can't Take It Anymore.
I was listening to them the other night
funny.
when I was taking the kids on dad runs, and I tell you what I love about them as well.
They don't care.
They don't give a flying fuck what they say. No,
they're not scared of Trump or
anyone.
I
was listening to one of their shows, and I was thinking,
like, oh shit.
I know. I was thinking if I said that, Nadia would be like, Mark.
I know they'll get shut down. But is it like I Can't Take It? What's it called? I'll have to find now, because I really want you guys to follow them on YouTube and TikTok. And
we'll pop I did do a story a couple of days ago going to linking up to their latest episode, but we'll pop a link in the description box under here to them. The Trawl, fantastic. And again,
we're talking about
independent journalists, independent commentators, and what's great is they trawl through social media. It's a little bit like what we do here sometimes, which is they'll go to clips. I think they used my clip. I was having a go at Keir Starmer one week, and they used a clip from me. And it's just, you know, they dip into other people's. And they're not afraid to say the things that I want to say. But Nadia's always pinching my leg under the table.
But we're talking about two different. The people that I was saying are so outrageous. I've had it. Two Americans from the deep South, women who are incredibly smart and quick fire, and they don't give a shit what they say. And I'm just saying that Marina and Gemma are a bit like British younger version.
Gemma Forte, Marina Purkis are the handles if you just literally search those, you'll find them. The other thing I want to say, someone just said someone said TikTok is very political. It is. Be careful on TikTok. It's being taken over gradually. It won't have been fully affected yet, but I saw someone, in fact, Lior, thank you, Lior, one of our long-term followers, sent me a post yesterday. Get this. There's some tool on TikTok which, not the captions that you put on yourself, but apparently it subtitles things for people. Sometimes it does it automatically.
Oh yeah, you just have that flicked on TikTok.
Careful,
because that's where there's screening, is it?
No, because this woman was recording a lot of stuff where she was using the term anti-Zionist, and they replaced it with anti-Semitism. So
be really careful with TikTok. I mean, he has said, Netanyahu said, we're changing TikTok, we're changing the algorithm. So.
And he said we're buying the algorithm, didn't he? I just want to show this just because it made me angry before we move off global politics, and then I want to move to this clip. No, I've sent it in, but let me get this.
We don't know what this says, but I thought it's going to be good.
Oh, okay.
It's the pundits going crazy.
Here we go.
It's from his page.
He's taken the Greens.
Every single minute, 24/7, we've had a new member.
So I think there's a further way in which this is just a bit misguided off the.
I can hear the scepticism in your voice.
Right, if you believe that as a matter of justice 2% of billionaires' wealth ought to be taken away from them,
yes, absolutely.
But what he does want to do is tackle deep inequality.
Right.
Jack Palensky is very sharp.
Thank you very much.
It's a brilliant political signalling mechanism.
Yeah, I think that's true as well.
I really hate that the Green Party is not really very green.
Yes, we want to protect the planet and tackle the climate crisis.
Oh, you could have edited that better for them. You're a good edit.
No. I just want to show this because this made me so cross. I had to post under this and attack the New York Post. Look at this. Breaking news, New York Post. Anti-Israel actress. First of all, anti-Israel actress Rachel Zegler and YouTuber Miss Rachel named Glamour Magazine's Women of the Year. Then you look at what they write underneath. Glamour Magazine's latest Women of the Year, a pair of Rachels. Both of them with a trail of controversies over the Israel-Hamas war. Actress Rachel Zegler and children's YouTuber Miss Rachel were added to the magazine's annual list of high-achieving women Monday. And it's just their tone.
Who's written that, though?
New York Post.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so clearly jaundiced. I went underneath it and went on a savage attack and have since had loads of American Zionists attacking me, which sometimes is quite good fun when you look at the nonsense that comes out. How could you hate Miss Rachel? What's wrong with these people, Nads?
Miss Rachel, the sweetest. I didn't realise she wasn't that long ago that she started what she's done.
I don't know.
Yeah. She just had a baby and she just started filming stuff on her phone.
I behave like a toddler, but I haven't been watching.
She's wonderful.
I love them both. Yeah,
I love it whenever there's children at the studios. Oti Mabusi's daughter, who I am obsessed with. Yeah. She's 2. I said to Oti, please bring her in every day. You just go, Miss Rachel, and she goes. I know
Natasha and Christos is.
She was the same, Natasha. Yeah,
Miss Rachel's big in your house. Just quickly, I'm going to show you a clip. And I want you to tell me honestly how this clip makes you feel, okay? You're going to watch a clip now, and as you're watching it, just say the words that you feel as you watch it.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? What do you think? Should the MPs be allowed to say the lawyers in the House of Commons?
So what you've heard there, if you're listening on podcast, is our King Charles being heckled by a crowd, or someone in the crowd asking, what did you know about Andrew and Epstein? Has there been a cover-up with the police? And I just wanted to know how that clip made people feel.
Just first of all, not once you've thought about
Not once
everything,
you've thought about the rights,
but just your first, like, because I was a bit like,
so was
heckling
So was I.
Charles. And it was like, we were saying this morning, weren't we? It was interesting, that sort of royalist, that sort of conditioning that we've got, that we don't question.
That's what I wondered, yeah.
And it is never good to have any group of people that are unquestionable.
Yes.
And that's why we are in the mess that we are in. But I also feel like he's an old man, he's got cancer, he's got a terrible brother. But you know what? Like last night I was watching Gogglebox, and they were doing such a good breakdown of the title of Duke has been taken, but he said it. He's still a prince because he's born a prince. If they couldn't take away the prince because of this, it would take years. Back and forth. And I was and it got me so riled up again.
That's why I posted that thing the other day. I was just like,
I've
got a lodge, he's playing peppercorn Ritz.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and that's why that person probably will have shouted that, it's a cover-up.
Yes. Well, let's have a look at what you're saying.
It's a damn cover-up. And we've had two royal experts on Loose Women last week, and both of them, were saying that they felt that it was Prince Andrew that was pushing for him to, more punishments to be in place. But that rather than King Charles wants it all to just go away. But it is wrong. I don't give a fuck. How long were we talking about the lodge last week? Should he be in the lodge? Shouldn't he be in the lodge? Should he have the Duke? Should he have the Prince? Hang on a minute.
Yes.
What about the victims, Andrew?
Yes.
You've got two daughters, right? Imagine if your two daughters had been in any way, in any kind of the smallest or the biggest way, a victim of a known paedophile who was trafficking young women, and somebody that you knew something about that and refused to say. That's all I want to know. Nothing is going to make this go away until we actually see that the victims are the most important people in this. Because it still feels like the most important thing is the cover-up of all the fucking men.
I entirely agree. I know more about Frogmore House and the number of rooms it has, the land, the layout, how peppercorn rents and all the rest of it, than I do about the bloody names of all the other people that Prince Andrew knows have been responsible for the abuse of many young children. Let's not forget, everyone has got their knickers in a twist, quite rightly so, about the grooming gangs inquiry. This is a grooming gang story, guys.
Gang, but they're billionaires and they're millionaires and they're the untouchables.
Thank you,
and
1966
it's a fucking disgrace. What Virginia Giffey and the rest of them, and I've listened to many of these women now, this is just unbelievable that we are part. This country is part of this cover-up. Now, again, we have to say Prince Andrew vigorously denies all accusations. So let's say he did nothing, right? He did nothing illegal. And the thing is, if Virginia Giffey was here and he had sex with her at that age, actually it wasn't illegal. Right. It might have been immoral, but it wasn't illegal because you can have sex with somebody at 16 here. And, it's highly likely that Prince Andrew believed that everybody wanted to have sex with him. But the point that what I want to know is you knew this man really, really well. You sent a disgusting email where you said, looks like we're both going to get a bit caught up. I'm paraphrasing in this, but, let it all die down a bit and we will play again. It's like you knew this man. Tell us what you knew. Stand up for these women. What an incredible hero. Do you know what? I'll make you fucking king if you do that.
I so agree. And in fact, there are a couple of commentators out there. I've seen a few articles. I think the only thing Prince Andrew could do right now to in any way rehabilitate, if not his situation, then just his legacy, is to actually say, do you know what? I do know more. And here it is.
Of course he does.
If he did that, it doesn't excuse, it doesn't justify, it doesn't explain it. It doesn't mean he shouldn't have everything removed and he shouldn't be paying a peppercorn rent. Blah, 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 blah. It means that he has, at least on some scintilla of a level, said, I recognize I've deceived everyone.
I know something. I know stuff about him, right? Just have the goddamn conversation, but you're protecting yourself. Ducking and diving, duke this, not duke that, lodge this, lodge it. You know, and I had a number of sort of, chats at work last week with all sorts of different people, and people kept saying, but people want to know about the lodge, and I kept thinking, I think people, we know that these people are spoiled beyond belief. You know, the riches that they're given, all of that, we know that. We've known that all along. The media are telling the public to be the most concerned about the lodge.
I agree. Totally agree. It's like the mainstream media only wants to focus on the parochial, on the incredibly
because that makes me think how with the tendrils of where this goes. You know, who else? Well, who else in this country that we don't know those names yet that could be involved in this?
And also, I mean, how much did everyone know? Going back to the clip of whether the king should be heckled or not. Look at this image. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell photographed at Windsor Castle at Prince Andrew's daughter's party. Imagine coming across these three wandering around the garden.
But you see, I don't agree with getting photos and like with people standing with people, because you don't know.
All three of them.
You don't know what's going on. These people, as we've been told, are incredibly charming when you meet them, and of course they're going to be on their best behaviour.
No, I know when the photo was taken.
Yeah.
But when, with the benefit of, I mean, sometimes people say this thing, which is very true. Oh, hindsight productions. It's all very easy, and it's true. It's very easy to retrospectively say, well, but there's also the joy of hindsight, or the relief of hindsight, which is when you look back, you go, okay, all three of them prosecuted, all three of them imprisoned, all three of them responsible for some of the most heinous crimes against women and children. And there they all are at Prince Andrew's daughter's birthday party. Doesn't again mean he's done anything wrong. But how do you know these people and not necessarily know what they are?
Just Weinstein was never children. Just to say.
What's that? No.
Young women, we keep being told about with the other two, don't we? Young women.
It just astonishes me that people are banging on about, you know, especially reform, grooming gang inquiry, grooming gang, two-tier justice. Hang on, what about this? This is the biggest grooming gang story in the world.
Yeah. Cover up, the biggest cover up ever.
Yeah. Okay. Sobriety. God, I need a drink. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much again to, I just want to say thank you to 1966 Buttons, Free Palestine. Thank you for supporting.
Thank you for supporting the channel. That's really kind. So,
yes,
today, Mark is 21 years sober. Yay. Yay. And before we go any further, I just want to read our daughter's message to Mark this morning on Instagram, because I think if you're struggling, if you're wondering, if you are questioning whether it is still worth it, and you don't have to have children, but this is how really I could talk about it. You know, this is what it means to your loved ones with you staying sober every day. And I know we have people sober here.
Before you read it, because I've read it and I just want to say this too. They say often in terms of getting sober that you need to do it for yourself. And I am also going to talk about this in my mental health chat. I found that really quite difficult. It was almost like, because I got sober at a time, and Jesus, Batman, you will have got sober at a very different time to me. I got sober at a time where there wasn't any conversation about conscious drinking or sobriety or anything like that. And at the time, it was really almost said to me like a whip. It was like a whip. You've got to get sober for you, otherwise your sobriety isn't real, virtually. And that's haunted me. It always haunted me. Because I only got sober.
But I've moved on with that.
I got sober for my family.
No, but I've moved on with that because I've always agreed with that. But that is for you because you love them.
Exactly. There you go.
So it actually is for you. And I think we've had this semantics all the way through. And I was thinking about it just a few weeks ago and I thought, but you knew you would lose me. Well, so you did that for me, but you also did it for you because you didn't want to lose me, and you didn't want to lose your children, and you didn't want your children hating you, or you know. So So this is from our eldest, Maddie.
Doesn't always run easily, that.
Doesn't. it's complicated. 21 years sober today. Words cannot express to you how proud and honoured I am to be your daughter. You fight a silent battle every single day, a battle that makes me all the more grateful to have you as my dad. You broke the cycle of torturous addiction, and you don't give yourself enough credit for that. I couldn't even imagine going through a quarter of the things you have faced. Put that in. The first photo is from when you took me to one of your favourite old pubs, the Nellie Dean, from your drinking days. We walked in and you bought a pint of Moretti and got yourself a Diet Coke. A simple thing to some, but little things like that are so, so massive for you. Still always the life of the party and the one topping up everyone else's drinks. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have my love for film, music, acting, art and theatre. All the things that now make me who I am. There aren't enough words in this language to describe the sheer amount of love and admiration I feel towards you. Thank you for being present. So important. Thank you for being strong, for being supportive, for being kind, for being silly, your silly self. And thank you for showing up for me every single day. I truly am so blessed to have you here. I love you more than life. What does that mean?
I've cried tears about that this morning. Yeah, I cried lots of tears about that this morning. I think in that message, there's, you know, being a parent and being just because you get sober, it doesn't mean that all your relationships run tickety-boo. Far from it. But one thing you do know is that you haven't got the fog of addiction. In a way, you can't change others. You can't change other people's journeys, other people's narratives. You can only be the best person you can be. And I know that by removing all of those addictions and all of those substances and everything else, I could be as best a person as can be. I think there's a danger sometimes to think that once you've hit sobriety, you're somehow automatically holier than thou. It doesn't work like that.
Or automatically deserve everything to go right. Like sometimes when things have been, and we have had the most awful couple of years behind the scenes, or really, really challenging. And we often say, oh God, it's so unfair, you know, all the sobriety, all the work that you've done yourself, but then we always end up with, but imagine if you hadn't got sober. Yeah. So all these things that you're facing one day at a time, without sobriety, you would be dead. You would be, you know, you would be self-medicating through all these difficult times, and then that would escalate beyond. So it's the sobriety. You have to say, thank God that I'm sober, because these things would have happened anyway, but imagine how much worse they would have been. And it is a day in, day out. Like on my post to you, I say it is the day in, day outness of it. One day after another. But of course, the key to sobriety is just today, isn't it? It is just today.
It absolutely is. That's the only cherishable. That's the only thing you can really navigate is for today, and that is
And how do you do that day by day? Because there will be people sitting here thinking, well, I mean, how do you actually do that, Mark?
Well, you don't. I mean, I think the thing is that you don't wake up thinking about having a drink. It's not, you know, when
not at this point.
No, not at this point of sobriety. Yeah, and at the beginning, I don't think there is a silver bullet solution as to how you do that. I think I was in the fellowship. I went to AA meetings a lot more back then. I think the 12 steps really threaded through me and went into me deeply.
I often say that Mark going to rehab, which we know we're so blessed that he could do that because so many people can't, but so many people go to rehab and go again and again and again and again. But your gratitude for rehab was phenomenal first. So you had real gratitude for that. And then you being such an excellent student, you know, you are an excellent
I'm competitive
student
with myself.
You're competitive with yourself. Those things and your love for things outside of yourself, art and music, and I think there were so many pillars that you were stood on within rehab that you then were able to take out of it.
I do feel.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do.
You studied.
I did, but I also can't, for a minute, talk about staying sober and not talk about you, because I'm incredibly grateful for the the tolerance and the space you gave me and us. And we went through probably some of the tougher times in our relationship in my so-called sobriety. So getting sober doesn't mean it's the end of the problem.
You've got your feelings back.
And as I said to Maddie when I gave her a big hug this morning, I said, look, I'm sorry for those moments where the ism, I call it the ism, the alcoholism, spills into, it might be that there's clearly a cloud over my head, or my behavior seems a bit strange, or I seem a bit weirdly focused on all the wrong shit and all this kind of stuff.
But also you took the alcohol away and you were left with the bipolar that you'd been self-medicating from a young child.
Exactly.
So that's why it became harder, because when you could just drink through the lows of bipolar and be sort of high for everybody and then collapse, I mean, you couldn't do that.
And I think one of the really important things to say as well, so on that hand, thank you. No, thank you. Because I think when I look at and I hear about people's stories of sobriety, and I think of people getting sober by walking in, there are so many gradations where the alcoholic in my head can start to say to me this, let me be honest with you. It's not real and I'm a fraud because I've got a loving partner and not everyone's had the support that I could have had from you, because emotionally you've really understood things and you want to understand things. You have that about you. Not everyone has that luxury in their partner.
So many people do, and their partner still drinks. Yeah. So don't think that.
So there's that. There's also, I then sort of think to myself, well, I had rehab. Not everyone has rehab. I'm always looking for ways to kind of chip away at actually where the achievement, for want of a better expression, is. And I have to say, I think one of the important things about staying sober is it not being always easy or finished. I think the part of it that I really got on board with at an earlier point, I don't know if you feel this, Pat-Man, is the reason I find it important to call myself a recovering alcoholic, because a lot of people get annoyed on my behalf with that, going, I don't like the fact that they're saying you're recovered. If you say you're recovered, you somehow are suggesting you've got somewhere. And therein lies the danger for me. I have to be on a journey. It's a journeyman's adventure, sobriety, and you have to keep moving. And whilst I don't go to AA meetings, I do work the program in situations, circumstances, on a daily basis, in my relationship with the kids, with my relationship with people. I try and think about, where can I be more of service where I haven't been? Where do I need to make amends? Where do I need to reflect on that? When do I need to say sorry? Right. How do I need to do all that?
So some of those things that Mark said there of service, it's like these are things from the tenets of AA. So if you're of service to somebody else, it can, so say for instance, Mark's really, really like a bit anxious. There might be people coming around, it's a meal, people are going to be drinking. Nobody gets sloshed here. You're never around really like drunk people.
No.
Only very rarely. So of service might be, you might like, well, you explain what of service would be in that situation.
Being of service would be taking yourself out of the equation and thinking how you can present yourself in that situation that helps someone in that.
Helps someone else.
So it's almost like at a literal level. It's like being charitable. It's being selfless. It's like, how can I, so today, you might be thinking, a good example would be an alcoholic head is, I thought I got all of Sunday off, and then suddenly there's loads of people coming and everyone's going to be chitting and chatting, and that's lovely.
So you could sit with the resentment.
And I could be like, but I'm not going to be able to have, it's not about not having a drink. It's not that I want the drink, but I'm thinking, I've got to find that place in myself that I didn't want to find today, because it's really fucking difficult to be this, that, and the other that no one wants me to be. I'm making it all up. But I used to need alcohol, and they've all got alcohol, and I can't do that. And I can't. Well, rather than just moaning about it and throwing a brown sort of mood about it, I think, okay, well, what does everyone want to drink? What would people like? I'll go to the shops. I'll get everything for everyone.
So to be of service sometimes for other people will take you out of the fog that you might be getting into, and the resentment and the woe is me. Now, woe is me can be a really ugly thing, real woe is me, alcoholic that's kind of pour me another drink. But woe is me is also something that is a real thing that we all have, where you do feel, and it is really hard to be in a really drinky world when you can't drink. So that woe is me that I don't mean in that nasty way, it's tough to do something for others. And
that can work on so many microscopic levels. That can work in so many different ways. You can find yourself and we all do it, you can find yourself just thinking of how this affects you at the smallest
it's
level.
So the other one from rehab is let go, let God.
Yeah.
Now that you don't have to believe in God, but it's let go of this. This is a small thing that you're making into a big thing because actually you're really anxious about a whole load of other things. And then that's the stinking thinking. And then that leads you to unhappiness. And then that bleeds out to people that love you. So it's a let go. I'll often say to you, Mark, just let go of that one. Just let go. And that can be your OCD, like obsessive thinking. Like he'll go, you've said that, but, and I'm like, yeah, I said it, but yeah, fuck it. Look, you've gone on from it. And that could make, in the old days, that would have made him really ill. He wouldn't have stopped. He would have gone on and on and on about it. I would have then ended up hating him and telling him to fuck off and all of that. But you see, the other thing is that's really important here is I use all this stuff too. I was a really heavy drinker. I would have been an alcoholic by now. I would have been, definitely, if Mark hadn't got sober. This isn't like, oh God, I was this amazing person and I delivered him and then he got sober. We were both chaos. And his sobriety got so many other people in his life drinking less. And I use the tenets, maybe sometimes even more. I annoy him. Like I'll go, Mark, today, use the serenity. Just use it today. Just break it down. And do you know how many times I will say that to friends of mine for other things as well? It's not just about alcohol. It's about knowing when you are able to change something and whether it's worth fighting for something and when you need to let go and when you need to say, I'm powerless over this. This I cannot shift and let go of it.
1966 buttons on bipolar 2. There's so many comments coming through and I have so much I want to say at the same time and so many of your things I want to read. Zoe, I know I shared with you before, Mark, but my uncle died of alcoholism 3 years ago. We couldn't get through to him, but I sent him one of your vids and he listened. Oh, bless you. Did you? It helped him feel seen. Thank you for sharing that.
That's really
thank you for sharing that
for you and your sobriety, Mark. That's what I said to you this morning.
The what ifs. I mean, I don't want to talk about the specifics, but I mean, for example, you know, I know someone who lost their father to alcoholism, and I know that, you know, so when I was reading, you know, messages from Nadia and from my girls and stuff, I sort of think, oh my God, you know. For people, I know they'll see it, and I know they'll see it. I sort of, my heart goes out to them, and then I'm reminded of why I did what I did, and how I've stopped a cycle of addiction, and I've stopped a cycle of self-harm within a family. I think it's really, I mean, you know, it's really difficult to talk about it as if everything in one's life works because one's sober. It really doesn't. This last year, I can quite honestly say, has been on so many levels, and most of the most emotional levels, apart from my mum, which is really emotional, you've got no knowledge of. It's been a catastrophic 12 months for me emotionally, I would say. Probably the worst 12 months for so many reasons that I have not in any way shared publicly. And I can honestly say, whilst I've not once thought or needed to have a drink in that or to wanted to drink on it, oh my God, I have not, and no amount of nothing would touch the edges of, you don't ever get to a place of complete pink clouded kind of.
No, nobody does.
And at Reese, you asked, why do you not go to as many AA meetings? It's a really good question. I think one of the reasons I don't and haven't, but I do drop in, and that's not, again, the right way to do it, is that sometimes I can be driven lower by only considering myself in those terms. But sometimes I can be lifted up by having an absolutely I have to be really in the right place. Sounds ridiculous. And again, it's kind of, you know, again, strictly speaking, they probably say that's wrong. But when I do step into a meeting, I've stayed sober for 21 years. So it can't be that wrong. And I do, and it's not like I stay sober and I forget I really, really, and I would say this to anyone who hasn't been to a 12-step meeting, I value those steps immensely. They are a great tool set. It's a great to put in your kit list of, you know, making a list. I mean, most of the time I'm making a fearless inventory of the things that I've done wrong that day, sometimes a little bit over the top, a little bit kind of, and I will miss some and I'll be told of some and I'll add that to my inventory of what I've done wrong. So you're never at a place of, oh, it's all great, isn't it? It's lovely to get this sort of like a day like today where you go, oh, wow, quite an achievement. But
exactly,
take your eye off the ball.
Super emotionally intelligent, Mark.
Yeah.
And I mean, my thing is now with Mark, I really, really, really want Mark to go to adult children of alcoholics, because I think I think that's a place where you will really benefit from hearing other people, because it's very complicated.
Yeah, growing up around addiction.
When your parent is an addict, and you know, even more so now because of where your mum is at, and to hear others say it's okay to let go of that, and the guilt has no place for you really within this. You know, all of that stuff I think would be really good for you.
Look at this. Pat Man has never been to an AA meeting, and you're 39 years sober. I mean, wow. I just challenged myself. I would talk to the inner me all the time. And I really want to talk in my mental health chat later about removing the rights and wrongs. When I came into recovery through 12-stepness, and it's not, again, this is not to denigrate it at all. I mean, I know we have people here who use the 12-step program, and for me, it's a knowing I can walk into. Do you remember the Bloomsbury group I went into a few weeks ago? Knowing there are these safe spaces to walk into
whenever you want
is an invaluable
like
resource.
If you heard tomorrow all AA meetings are being shut down,
it would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
It's almost knowing it's there and not using it. It's almost it's a net. But
I really want to go to one with you soon, because there is something incredibly special. As some of you may know, years ago I used to go to Overeaters Anonymous. It was exactly the same 12-step program. It's exactly the same. And there is something lovely about just being with people that get it, that you don't have to explain stuff.
Yeah. Coral Roberts, Mark, you're using the tools and added new ones which you developed. That's extremely powerful. Can I just say something that I really need to say, actually, which is a detail that I'll go into it in more detail. But I do want to say this, because one of the things I have felt and I've noticed when I walk into meetings now, and I pretty much always open my mouth, and I will always say something. And I will say how many years sobriety I've got. And this is not a criticism. I notice a lot of people pull away because of when I've said the amount of time. I've literally noticed that. And I remember at one meeting recently, the one person who didn't stepped over and said, well, you must know how to do it all. And I was like, today, I don't have a fucking Scooby-Doo.
But it's like you always say, Mark, just because it's an AA meeting doesn't mean that you're not going to find crazy ass people, thieves, liars, competitive people, whack jobs, lovely people, heartfelt people, kind people. It's just another society. And so that's intimidating for some people. And maybe some people who are like newly sober don't actually want to think that it has to last that long. Do you know what I mean? So there'd be lots of challenges. That's why somebody with your level of sobriety is really important for people to sometimes hear about, because you're going to be challenging people's thoughts in a completely different way.
I do remember years ago at a meeting in Chelsea, an old guy saying, and he had about 30 years sobriety. And I remember him saying, I don't know how to say this, guys, the fellowship has saved my life, but I feel quite lonely within it. And it really struck me, and I didn't feel everyone go, oh, I felt everyone kind of go, you know, I mean, an AA meeting is as much a cross section of, as you rightly say, a cross section of, but it's weird. I felt a hum of almost, this guy must either have all the answers and is too much for me, or is a bit, like you say, Reese, maybe a bit intimidated or a bit standoffish.
But I think part of the ism is loneliness, and I think that loneliness is always there. That loneliness is with you even when you're with a group of people, isn't it? You carry loneliness in you. That comes from being alone so much when you were a child, being ignored and neglected as a child due to addiction, and you know, and also, you know, your mum being a lesbian and being at school and imagining that everyone hated you for. There's the loneliness has been printed in you. And that is just, I think, the hardest thing to shake from what I witness. Of course, I don't know, but from what I witness, I think that a lot of your sadness is still loneliness.
I think you're right.
Let's read out some more comments, because you're going to do
I also just want to say, this is an unfortunate detail which you'll be unaware of. A long-standing person who's been in our chat group said something which I didn't like about Maddie's post. So you've been blocked. It's unfortunate because you've been with us for quite some time. But don't ever cross swords with my kids, ever. And that's just an explanation, really. It's a shame. Let's just read some of these. For me, that would help me knowing that sobriety for that period of time is possible. I'd be looking up, says Shauna Jean, 93. Rachel Thomas, look at how many people on this thread have had their lives touched by alcoholism. This is such a valuable discussion.
It really is. And we're so grateful to all of you that share.
I feel as if I'm being high and mighty by saying I didn't AA meetings, but I'm
not.
You don't at all, Pac-Man, not at all.
No, God, not at all,
Not
whatever
at all.
way. I mean, I have this conversation often with Denise Welsh. You know, Denise Welsh and her husband, I think they've been sober 13 years together. They got sober together. They never went to a meeting and they never went to rehab. And that, all the statistics say that can't happen. Don't they? They say two people can't get sober together.
Absolutely.
And two people, and you have to have, but no, they've done it. It's like whatever way works. It's just, I mean, God, Mark and I are the least conformist people in the world. And we took our kids out of school. Do you know what I mean? Where they were homeschooled. It's like, there are so many different ways to crack an egg.
Reese, I also think only children do carry an inherent loneliness within themselves. And the task as you get older is balancing solitude and loneliness. Beautifully put.
Think so.
Beautifully put. Thank you for your support. Maddie's post was beautiful. Thank you. And it served a really important purpose of reminding people of what you've given to children when you get sober. So I think it's an important thing to share. Thank you, Murder, she wrote. You're incredible, helping so many people. Thank you so much. Susie8152. Love this community.
Oh, listen to that, Mark. So proud of you, Mark. This is Sophie.
Thank you, Susie.
You have created a beautiful life for yourself by doing this.
Oh, bless you.
Do you understand that? I call us the beautiful disaster. Do you think you've created a beautiful life?
I do. Yeah.
Of course.
I don't want to get emotional about it.
There is no such thing as just beautiful. It's beautiful and ugly and difficult. But when you think of yourself as an only child and wanting the warmth that you've got, you know, meals cooked, love, laughter, a beautiful home.
Of course. No.
But I always worry that you have gratitude for it.
Thank you,
but
Sophie.
you don't take any responsibility for it, that you've made it happen. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I am forever and
That's because you deserve it.
But I am forever and unfortunately, because there are those elements which are imperfect and incomplete, and they are such enormous bruises in my heart and sadnesses, I really have to fight hard to hive those off in order to focus on absolutely when I'm solely focused on it. But I'd be lying if I'd say as a human being I could solely focus on just the good. I just can't. And no,
it's not.
And I do. I can't really work out what you say. I do respect it and appreciate it.
Maybe it was a bit muddled. I think that you have to know that you're worthy of it. That's what I would say.
Yes. No, I do. I think I do feel that,
Good.
and I think that helps. And that's a different kind of hue to my sobriety, I would say, in the last couple of years. But also alongside that is, whilst there's also an acknowledgement that I am not responsible for those elements in my life that have gone wrong or are wrong.
Challenging.
I am working still in saying, well, that's actually other people's stuff and other people's shit.
Exactly.
But that still doesn't mean that heartache is something that is forever and a day, like the dark creep of Mordor in Lord of the Rings, always a hand coming across my heart.
But I have never in my life, and will never in my life, there's somebody here that was part of NCOA that I really wanted to read out.
Yes.
But yes, NACOA is that narcotics children of. Anyway, I find the regular mobile socials really helpful. As you say, Nadia, you'll be the people that get it. I think that's adult children of alcoholics.
Right.
And I think that I wanted to read that because I think it would be so good for Mark. I have never met anyone. I don't know of any parent or anyone who takes on board their mistakes and apologizes for them, because that's part of sobriety, is having a rigorous, what is it you call a rigorous inventory? Is my side of the street clean? I
think I've done that. I mean,
you have done that. You are no fucker in the world. They could stand and scream that at me all day and all night, and I will not have it, because I've witnessed everything. And I know that you hold yourself accountable, that you have thrown yourself on your sword so many times, and enough. That's what I would say to you. Guilt is one of the most damaging. I remember a therapist saying to me, it's the worst out of all emotions that humans put themselves through, is guilt, because it eats into everything. And we all make mistakes, but how many of us stand back and say, God, I really fucked up there and I'm so sorry, and what can I do? Not many. So
no, certainly.
thank you so much, guys, for sharing. And thank you, Mark, because it is really brave to talk about it, because people do compartmentalize people that have problems, that have mental health issues, that have addiction issues. And that's why it's so, you are a sane man with loads of different challenges, always sharing and self-correcting, and that is a powerful thing to share on social media. It's powerful because you open yourself up to negativity. But I'm so proud of you, and happy 21st birthday.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Please just take it. Yeah.
I'm worried about your tears out in your eyes.
Maybe it will help clear them up.
Oh,
so thank you so much.
Thank
I think
you,
we should
everyone.
hive this bit off and do a separate video of this today, don't you think?
Yeah, and I'm also going to be doing a mental health chat about some of these things. So.
And actually, we're planning that for me to do a partner of an addict as well, because there are so many people as well that are partners or love somebody that is still using or is still white knuckling, or the white knuckling is such a hard thing. White knuckling is when somebody really wants a drink and they're holding on like this until their knuckles are white and the whole atmosphere is like, that's such a hard thing to live with. And I really want to talk to people about that, because we had quite a bit of that after Mark came out of rehab.
Yeah.
Before he started working on before we even knew that you had bipolar and all of that.
Yeah, and as and in terms of addiction, I'll talk about all of that stuff as well in my chat as well, how it's a cloak
Thank
for
you,
bipolar.
Jen. No, never forget, perfection is a myth. Own your wins, Mark. Exactly. Perfect thing to end on, because in rehab, they say one of the afflictions of the addict is looking for perfection. So what you do is you set yourself up for misery, because there is no such thing. It's the way to constantly say, yeah, but I haven't. Like today when I came down this morning, said to Mark, 21 years sober, because yeah, but I feel like it's not really good because I haven't gone to AA. It's like, see, that it's not perfect. So what they say in rehab is strive for excellence, never ever for perfection. Luckily, I've never had any kind of relationship with perfection.
Well, even excellence is quite intimidating.
But not all the fucking time.
No. But I think something, I can't remember what therapist it was sometime in the murky past, said, why don't you just aim for good enough?
Yeah.
Good enough is
just
okay.
about. That's what I say to you all the time. Does it have to be 100%?
Reese Roberts has just said, Mark, have you ever tried leaving a voice note to your younger self?
It's so good you say that, Reese. You know what I say to Mark all the time when he's being really fucking mean to himself? I say to him, imagine your own son, a little boy, and you're talking to yourself. Like
that does help. That does help.
It's disgusting.
And my last therapist really did help me see that little boy as not
it's
just annoying and irritating, which he was.
And some people, if you don't like yourself enough, you can't even do that. So what you do is you'll take some small child that's meant something to you at some point, or maybe even an animal or whatever, something that you've really loved, and talk and picture yourself talking to it like that, and how disgusted and horrified you'd be. And you'd be like, shut up, how dare you? What are you doing? That's how strict you have to be with your own trolls in your head.
Musical chimp. I'd call myself a dickhead. LOL. Justin Costello, I've not seen you comment before, I don't think.
Hi,
if
Justin.
you have, sorry if we've missed it. We listen to you daily here in Ireland. We love your honesty, compassion. Today you had me in tears. Love, light and respect. Beautiful people. God, I think
Justin.
we need to get to Ireland.
Mark.
I mean, there's so many nice pubs.
He still loves going in a pub.
I love pubs.
I mean,
old-fashioned pubs.
Usually what we do on March 21st is what he likes to do is go to a pub.
Yeah.
But we said today, we're so bloody sick of going to places and everything being so expensive, and the food is disgusting. And as Maddie says, 9 times out of 10, they haven't got Diet Coke. So we're going to
and also, there's nothing nicer than a dirty pint of Diet Coke fired out of a gun, which is a bit flat. That takes me back to the good old days of.
So how we are celebrating March 21st is his favourite thing. We are having movie night. He gets to choose the movie. He got to order the food that I'm going to make, because whenever you eat it out, it's never as good. What did you order?
Wagamamas.
Wagamamas. So he's having Wagamamas, popcorn, snacks,
Yeah.
and movie night. The four
there
of
you
us.
So thank you so much, everyone. Should we end on a funny?
Yes.
Oh, I just want to show you this because my favorite filmmaker is David Lynch. Look at, and this just speaks to, and this popped up on my day of my sober birthday. Absurdity is what I like most in life. I love it.
You don't look like disability.
His head just
you need
mad.
to have your hair cut.
Okay, and shall we go with this? This is fun.
I still think you're a teenager. Okay.
Ready?
Okay. We were laughing so much. Let's do it again.
Oh
I just
my
love
God,
it.
that is
when you're
me.
in your 50s and you still think you're a teenager.
He looks around.
We'll do a whole
It's
series
just
of
brilliant.
that.
And here's another one of him going to the opticians.
Put your chin up there for me, please. All right, go ahead and put your chin up there for me,
How
please.
the air puff machine at the eye doctor feels.
You ready?
All right, go ahead and put your chin up there for me, please. You're going to feel a small puff of air in a moment. There it was. Okay, thank you so much. That was perfect.
Again.
Oh
I
my.
love
Go
this.
ahead and put your chin up there for me, please. You're going to feel a small puff of air in a moment. There it was. Okay, thank you so much. That was perfect.
I love him.
He's so your sense
Oh,
of
he's
humour.
so my sense of humor.
He really is. Actually, we should say who he is. It's not fair because then we.
Oh, well, I can tell you.
So
I've got-
if you want to
I've got
follow
him
him,
in my repost thingy. He is urban_runner_Denmark.
God,
That's his name. urban_runner_Denmark. Go and check him out. And what are we posting underneath here today? What was the account that we're posting under here?
I've had it.
Also,
That's
I've
the
had it.
YouTube. Those two crazy
Right.
Southern
Okay. Send me
American
that,
women.
Nat, and I'll put that.
You've
Oh no,
had
and the
it.
trawl. We're going to do the
And
trawl.
the trawl, yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for all your messages. And again, it's such a shame that someone had to disqualify themselves from the chat now. He definitely needs new glasses after that bead ALA. That puff is terrible, says Shauna Jean. It really is.
So good.
All right, guys. And as we said, the Sunday show will be happening tomorrow night, Wednesday night. See you then. And other bits and bobs will be landing, as we've said today. Thanks, guys. Thank you for all of your messages. Thank you so much.